Castles and coasters, capes and cowls. You are now tuned in to the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Jen Diz.
And that's Myke TV.
Welcome to an upside down and all around episode where Disney enchantment, Star Wars wisdom, and Marvel thrills converge. We're listening to Disney fan chatter today, everything from the parks, movies, and TV. I always have to remind people that the band that plays a fun intro song for our podcast is Fat Cat Swinger. And last week we were talking about them because you went to go see them at the parks.
That's right. I get a little dose of them every week, even if I can't make it down to Disneyland.
All right. So
you're welcome. Just kidding.
You're welcome. Okay. So I was in a roller coaster mood for the last few days. Don't ask me why. I think probably just like YouTube rabbit holes that I went down. And then I thought, oh, let's do a fun game. So we are about to go right into a game today. It's called Myke TV Presents the Rollercoaster Up and Down game.
Wow. All right. Ooh. Oh, I know what this is.
Do you recognize that song? Music?
I thought that was going to be the beginning of Standing Tall. No, wait, that's Perfect Strangers. What's the one where they're at Magic Mountain?
Perfect Strangers with Balky. Oh my goodness.
What's the one where they're on the roller coaster at Magic Mountain?
Oh, Step by Step.
Step by
rest
step.
in peace,
Day
Suzanne
by
Summers.
day. Yep.
So, no, that was the intro music to Myke TV Presents
Tycoon.
Roller Coaster Up and Down game. No, but for real, if anyone else noticed it, it's from the Walt Disney VHS home videotape intros.
How cute.
Yes,
and you did sound familiar from somewhere. That's cute.
What the sound was. But today we are using it for the roller coaster game. So the way this game works is I'm going to challenge you to name some attractions, very specific attractions.
Ooh,
and
okay.
I'm going to start. Oh, and I might pepper in some fun facts along the way because we love that too.
I might actually do good at this game. Finally.
I hope so. Best of luck. And to our listeners out there as well. Starting with Disneyland. Name 4 roller coasters in Disneyland Park.
Okay, we have Space Mountain. We have Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. We have Matterhorn, and roller coasters. I'm totally forgetting one. Is it Indiana Jones Adventure? Is that considered a roller coaster? No.
It is Gadget's Go Coaster, which has now been renamed.
Freaking Gadgets, get out of here.
Right? It's now called
Chippendales or something.
Chippendales Gadget Coaster, something like they just kind of like
that, yeah.
Shuffled the name there. That is correct. You've named the 4 Disneyland roller coasters. So some fun facts here. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is inspired by a real canyon in Utah. And that's where like the red rock formations come from. The specific canyon is Bryce Canyon that the Imagineers were inspired by. Often referred to as the wildest ride in
the wilderness.
Yeah, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It's such a good coaster. It will forever be a good coaster. And it's such a good like all ages coaster, but it doesn't dumb it down for kids at all. It's still thrilling. It's a good one.
Totally.
Love, love, love. Gadget's Go Coaster. So we talked about how that is now the Chippendale one. That's over in Toontown. Matterhorn bobsleds. Did you know that it was the first tubular steel track roller coaster in the world at the time in 1959?
It's a modern marvel.
Modern marvel. It's also known for a true urban legend, which is very rare. A true secret a true theory, not theory, but a thing that people talk about, and they're like, is it true? Is it true? There really is what inside of the
A
mountain?
basketball court.
Basketball court. That's one of those ones that
What?
just seems phony, and then you're like, oh my god, no, it's true. Yes, there's a
It's
basketball
true.
court, and there's tons of pictures now of it that you could see. Just like one hoop little court where you could play on your break, type of thing. Space Mountain. Who composed the ride soundtrack? So there was several. Who composed? I think the one that was like in the 2000s.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be so mad if I can't remember his name. Wait, in the 2000s, it was Michael Gia something da da
Yeah,
da.
Giacchino, who directed
Giacchino,
very recently.
a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. What are you going
It was his
for?
first movie that he directed, and we were like, oh
Oh,
my gosh, that was so good.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. What was it?
Oh, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. This is not part of
Oh
the quiz.
shoot. I can't remember, but I remember his name popping up and freaking out. I was like, wait, what?
And I remember at being at the expo and being like, oh, wow, that's pretty
Do
cool.
you
Because
remember us at the expo yelling his name for like
we're
Space
like,
Mountain?
Space Mountain.
That's
Yeah.
why we're yelling Space Mountain because they're talking about things he's composed because he's done a lot. And we're like,
Yes,
Space
he's done
Mountain,
a
come
lot
on, give
with
him credit.
Pixar music, and then he did the Space Mountain attraction and directed his first film, or should I say, special feature, Werewolf by Night for Marvel. That's what it was. Yeah,
Ah, that is cool.
that is
That
very
is very
cool.
cool.
So yeah, I liked that version of Space Mountain. That one, it was like fun.
It,
It was like
it
right, like rock but still futuristic and
it
fun.
was like that song, the circus of the
Of the
animals song.
animals, right?
Yep.
But it's like in French. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that always comes up as either trivia or we're playing like Mouse in a Box or something, and I think I remember that coming up too. All
Yep.
right,
Oh, wait, that's the old one. Surf guitar.
surf
Carry
guitar,
on.
roller coaster, up and down game. We are going over to Walt Disney World. What is Goofy's roller coaster at Disney World?
It is the Barnstormer.
Correct.
Nice.
Now you're going to tell me which park that's in.
It's in the Magic Kingdom.
Now for the ultimate challenge, do you think you can do it?
Absolutely, bring it.
Okay, name 6 other roller coaster based attractions in Disney World, all of Disney World. 6. Go.
Oh, okay. Cosmic Rewind. The Mine Train, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Tron,
Ooh, good one. You're so modern.
Rockin' Roller Coaster. What'd you say?
I said you're so modern. I love it. Tron. It's so new and fresh still to me.
Yeah, Cosmic Rewind too. And then I need 2 more. Expedition Everest.
Mm-hmm.
And is there another one in Hollywood Studios? I feel like there should be, but I don't think there is.
You are at
Is
the
there
right
another one in
park.
Magic Kingdom? Huh?
You were at the right park.
At Hollywood?
Yep.
Rockin' Roller Coaster. What else do they have? It's a roller coaster in there.
It's quite a fun one. I think I remember when we went on it with Nicole. Nicole really loved it.
Slinky Dog.
Slinky Dog Dash in Toy Story Land. Wow, you got them. You got the 6 other coasters, and that totals to 7 with Goofy's Barnstormer. Now we have some fun facts. Which of those roller coaster attractions has the most complex animatronic ever built at the time by Disney Imagineering?
Built at the time. I'm gonna say Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Ooh, which animatronic are you thinking of? Not Snow White with her arm off. First of all, that video was going
Oh my God,
around
I saw that.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Bouncing around with one arm.
That is so disturbing, and kids should not see that. I don't like that. It's very disturbing. So while you're thinking of the answers, what we saw in videos going around social media was the end of the Mine Train coaster at Magic Kingdom. When you pull up to the station, you get about 10 seconds in front of the cottage, and you see the dwarfs and Snow White and the dwarfs, and they're dancing, and the spooky witch is outside the window looking in. but something got messed up and her arm, Snow White's arm, got like stuck to one of the dwarfs and it was dancing around with her arm half off, and then she just had like a flimsy skin sleeve that was just flopping around as they were still smiling and dancing. It's very disturbing, nightmarish.
I was dying laughing, like, where is that arm? Like on the ground somewhere, and they're just bouncing around on top of it. These animatronics, like,
So gross, weird. So it's not
man,
this. It's not Seven Dwarfs.
I can't think of anywhere else that even has animatronics because Cosmic Rewind doesn't, Tron doesn't, um, Rock and Roller Coaster doesn't, Seven Doors Mine Train's out, Barnstormer doesn't, and what were the other two? Slinky Dog doesn't. So what's the last one I can't remember right now that obviously has the most updated animatronic?
Well, first of all, it's just working by strobe light today.
Oh, I forgot he was even there. Disco Yeti, Expedition Everest.
Sad.
I feel so bad. I didn't even think about him.
Isn't that crazy?
Aw,
Yeah, it went from being the most complex ever to now defunct in B mode forever and
static.
ever.
Oof, my
Pretty sad.
goodness. Poor guy.
All right, but you did guess all of the coasters correct. So good job on Disney
Yes.
World. Good job on Disneyland. We are now going to
Thank you.
go international. I'm going to start with a park that you did go to, which is Disneyland Paris. But I don't know if the
Okay.
movie studio park was there when you're there, but we're going to be talking about both parks together, the whole resort.
Okay.
Name 4 roller coaster based attractions at the
Oof.
Disneyland Paris resort.
Okay. I can only think of three. See if it comes to me as I'm saying these. So Space Mountain, and then Indiana Jones there is a roller coaster.
Uh-huh. Do you know what it's called? And the
No,
blah blah blah. I don't think anyone
no.
could guess it. It's and the Temple of Peril.
Temple of Peril. Yeah, I don't remember that. And then Crush's coaster. I don't know if it
Crush's
has a cooler
Coaster.
name.
Yeah, that's it. It's called Crush's Coaster.
And then the fourth one, is it Rock and Roller Coaster there also?
I'm going to give you that because that is what it was for a long time. It recently got remodeled to fit into Avengers Campus, and it is now called Avengers Flight Force, but it's the same track, and I think they just updated the scenery. I have not been on
Okay.
it. I have not seen video of it either, but curious to see how how that turned out. Yeah, Indiana Jones. So it has an inversion, which is not very typical of Disney parks. I think we have like I'm not going to say where, but we have a couple of other that go upside down, but not that many. So that's cool that their Indiana Jones has that. Which ones have you been on? Just
All
hyperspace
of
or
the
just
above.
space? Which, by the
I
way,
went on
that
all
is
of them.
now permanently Hyperspace Mountain. I'm 90% sure.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's also
Uh,
been 10 years since I went there, but
so Indiana Jones, you did go on that one?
I did.
Nice. Nice. Very
It
cool.
was pretty funny because in my experience at least, we were very underwhelmed. So we walked up and you could see like the queue is outdoors and you see this beautiful temple. And then you walk through it and realize, at least this is what I remember, you guys, it was pretty flat. Like it was a facade. And then there's just this like roller coaster track behind it where you go on this roller coaster and it's like a kind of carnival-y almost, but like
Ooh.
bigger. But it wasn't like fully decked out like you would expect a Disney theme park roller coaster to be.
Yeah,
So
I heard that it
budget.
was one of those off the shelf ones that they themed after because I think
Yeah,
there's something
that's what it looks like.
um our game show today is not going to Tokyo because neither of us know all the rides there. But I think their Indiana Jones ride there at Disney Sea is kind of the same. And when I saw it in person, it was giving me Goofy Sky School, but with really cool the themes or scenery because they did a good job at Disney Sea, anyways, at least over there.
Right.
But anyways, all right. So let's bring it all the way back to where it started at Disneyland Resort, and we are going to go across the Esplanade to Disney California Adventure. I've spoiled like almost all the answers to this already, but what are the 2 roller coasters that you can find at DCA?
2 roller coasters. Why am I actually only able to think of one?
I've said
This is
them
really
both
weird.
already over the last 5 minutes by accident.
Oh, okay. Incredicoaster's one.
Uh,
And the other, what the heck?
I would say I said it about 40 seconds ago or less.
Oh, shoot. What were you talking about 40 seconds ago?
We were in peril 40 seconds ago.
Oh, Indiana Jones in peril, Paris. No, there's no Indiana Jones over there. I don't know where you're going with that.
It's
Peril.
a off-the-shelf attraction that you can just buy from the roller coaster store. And Eisner sure did.
Yeah, Incredicoaster
No,
was one of those.
Incredicoaster is, oh my God, that is one of the most beautiful designed old-timey coasters. I'm talking about Goofy's Sky School.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just mentioned that. I always forget about that, right? Because it's a nightmare, a living nightmare.
A Living Nightmare. It's also called a Wild Mouse ride. Like literally, there's a catalog where you could buy these attractions, and it's one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
I think Great America bought one at some point, and some other theme park. It's like a good like filler attraction. But here we are.
And they're
It's still there.
small. They go up instead of like wide, right? They're
Yeah,
like
like
one of
you could
those.
fit that in the middle of like a mall or something if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Shopping mall. Good job. And for those playing along, I hope you got some of those correct. Fun ups and downs. Can't wait to get back to the parks and ride some coaster attractions.
Yeah.
So I thought it's another good time for us to dip our foot into Reddit and see what the Disney fan community chatter is like.
Let's do it.
All right, let's take a
Oh,
peek in there.
yeah,
Okay,
well.
so one of the really good subreddit threads that I've been following is about what is your favorite animatronic from a defunct attraction? So I want to hear your answer first, and then I'll tell you about
Ooh.
what other fans are saying.
Okay.
Favorite
Man,
animatronic from a defunct attraction.
the first thing I think of is the big troll from Maelstrom in Epcot. And he's like, get out or something like that. It's so scary. Oh my God.
That is the
Um,
number one
no way.
fan
Are you
response.
serious?
Yep, it's the Maelstrom trolls plural, and it's like,
Yes,
and then it
Stan
says like,
Maelstrom.
back
Nice.
over the falls. They quote it. I guess that's what happened to me.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's very
scary.
cool. That's where the big snowman dude is right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Wait,
Or is it Elsa?
no, I think it's where Elsa is.
Oh, pushes you
And he
back.
sends you backwards there. Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, so it holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts.
Wow. I'm very impressed that he's number one.
Yeah.
That's
Huh.
very cool.
I think if I were going to guess one, and mine, not guess one, if I were to say one, I had the luxury of seeing a whole list of other fans ones. So I don't think I would have thought of it right away. But my
Okay.
favorite animatronic from a defunct ride has to be something from the Great Movie Ride because
Oh my
it's
gosh, so
just
much.
so cool in there. And I'm gonna go
Xenomorph.
with it's a tie between the Wicked Witch because that is just so classic. It's classic cinema to see that come to life, or Ellen Ripley from Alien because it's so
Oh,
unexpected that all of a sudden the ride took a turn into this rated R horror movie, sci-fi movie. But yeah, there were some
can we get a
good
shout out
animatronics in
though?
there.
Can we get a shout out for the Ellen animatronic
Oof.
from
Yep. Ellen's Energy Adventure. Yes, that was a very
Yes,
scary
please.
looking animatronic. And they sent it to her and she put it on her show and it's really weird looking. The whole thing is
Just the
weird.
skin, just the skin.
Ew,
Ooh.
just the skin. Some other animatronics that were on the Great Movie Ride were like there was a Gene Kelly on the pole singing in the rain. A lot of good stuff there. At one point, the women doing the choreographed dancing moved around, but now they kept it static for a while with like a screen over it. But yeah, yeah. When you start saying it out loud, I kind of start to side with the people who are bummed out that Runaway Railway took over its spot.
Yeah, it was a really cool ride. If that was a live studio place, I would be even more upset. Like, come on, you have to have
Yeah,
something for
it
that
goes
then, right?
well with it. All
Yeah.
right, some other contenders that made it to the Reddit subthread, there's the whatever it's called, subreddit. Dreamfinder and the Dreammobile.
Oh, why didn't I say that? I know the troll still is so fucking cool, but oops. Um,
I haven't
but
seen Dreamfinder, so I'm
Oh,
And
yeah.
sad. I wish I got to see that.
No, it was really, really cool. Can I guess one? I just
Oh
Can
yeah.
I guess another Epcot one? Buzzy,
Buzzy did not
is
make
he
it
on
to the
there?
list. Let me search. No, nobody said Buzzy. I'm surprised. But somebody sure did steal him
He sure did.
out of there. Okay, so a few other contenders before we go to the next one is the sea serpent from Under the Sea submarine
Ooh,
at Disneyland. Did
very
it
cool.
move? I guess it did, right? The eyes or the tongue or something?
Yeah, it like had, the eyes were like woo, woo, woo,
Like
like crazy
wobbly.
eyes, like going
Okay.
around in a circle.
And then there was one here that um yeah, it is gone. So when we went back to ride Snow White after they updated it, that wasn't that long ago. They took out the scary witch that would come out, right? That would flip around with the apple in your face.
No, she's still
Is
there.
it still there? Oh.
That part's still there. They got rid of the trees. They
Oh.
were animatronics.
Somebody wrote that. They said the scary witch from the Snow White now gone, extending out the poison apple. The one
Maybe
that
that
people
was
used to
from
take
Disney
out.
World.
Oh, could be. Could
Ooh.
be. And then lastly, oh, look, I see a couple of other wicked
Oh, wait, I'm
witches.
sorry. They do have, okay, the witch that turns around is still there, but the witch that was dipping the poison apple, I think, is gone.
There
And
was
then also
one.
the witch that comes out of the tunnel is gone.
That's the
There's
one
a
that
couple
they're
of her.
thinking of. Yeah, that one's
Okay.
gone, right? Where she
That one's
comes
for
out of
sure
the
gone. Yeah, it
boat.
has that new like frame
Yeah.
in there that shatters.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that is gone. And that is sad. It is very scary. My cousin, she doesn't listen. Marissa, shout out to her. Anyways, she's horrified of this, of that lady. The old hag, I think, is how she is
An old
credited
hag.
in Snow
That's
White.
right.
But yeah, so those were some sad ones. There was a photo that came with the Reddit thread, which usually means whoever, like the OP, the original poster, that what was their answer to it was the bear from Splash Mountain when you go under it, Brer Bear, and he has his
Oh,
butt, the
yeah.
butt and the beehive in his face.
It's
That was
cute.
their, which I guess now, yeah, it is defunct, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, kind of. It's in Tokyo still. So
Ah, for for
maybe. I don't
now.
know if that exact bear is there.
All right. Next up, we have a battle that Disney fans are fighting over. And it's
Okay.
which of these two songs from Winnie the Pooh, which of the two is scarier than the other? And um I already messed it up. It's not from Winnie the Pooh. It's from Winnie the Pooh and Dumbo. Okay, so the question is the argument is which is scarier? Pink elephants on parade from Dumbo or Heffalumps and Woozles from Winnie the Pooh? Scarier.
Okay. They are both creepy because the Heffalumps and Woozles ones, I think they say beware, beware. Da-da. It's like really like creeping you out, getting you prepared for these Heffalumps and Woozles. But then they also have the pink elephants that says similar stuff, right? What does it say at the beginning?
We're coming for you. We're coming for you. We're
Yeah, it
gonna
says like
kill
some
you
really
with our
creepy stuff
trunks.
in it.
We will strangle you with our trunks.
Now I need to
Um,
look up the lyrics of
they
this
are,
one.
yeah, they are both creepy. The person who posted this was like, yeah, they are both what I consider psychedelic horror. Love it.
Yes,
That's so cool.
that's great.
Especially stuff from back then. It was just weird. I do remember as a kid thinking the pink elephant scene was a little bit, it was so very different than the
What's
rest of
going on?
Dumbo. And it
Yeah,
was, I didn't think it was scary, but it was a little bit off putting as a kid, but I thought it was cool at the same time, I guess.
it's like that song from Willy Wonka in the tunnel. It's like, what's
Yes.
happening? And you're real uneasy and uncomfortable. And
So yeah, I don't know if I could pick one of the two. I think they're both spooky. I'm gonna give that one to Pink Elephants just because it was first, like
me
classic,
too. Me
right?
too.
Dumbo. Love to see when they
Classic.
randomly show up in things like Phantasmic for like a second on the projector or something like that.
Hmm.
And it seems like the consensus is Pink Elephants from the other Redditors. Someone says
Look
purely
out.
a
Look
thing of
out.
nightmares. Purely a thing of nightmares.
Yes. Psychedelic nightmares.
Someone says
It's
the
funny because it always goes with acid. Remember, people call it the acid room all the
yeah.
time on the Winnie the Pooh ride for the Heffalumps room.
Oh, that's true. It is very drugged out.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so let's continue with what people are saying in the Disney fan community. Who would you choose as your Jedi Master? So think of all the Star Wars Force users who either are or once were a Jedi. Who would you choose to be your master and train you?
I God, do I have to lean towards the most obvious? I think so. I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go with Obi-Wan.
Oh, he's a good one. We've seen him
Yeah,
try and fail with Anakin, but it seems like that wasn't Obi-Wan's fault. Anakin was
it
destined
wasn't.
for
That guy
nonsense.
was dark.
Obi-Wan tried, and he was so good to what's her face, little young Leia in his TV show.
Yeah, aw.
He was really
He
good with
seems
her.
like a sweetheart. So I want him as my teacher.
Very strict though.
Friend.
No, you can't have any attachments, no fun, no love, no partners.
That's true. Maybe not
Uh,
then. Shoot.
Whoa, strict. But you'll be a good Jedi.
Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. I would choose Yoda. I just think, I mean,
Yoda. Why didn't I even think about
he's like
Yoda?
Grandmaster Yoda at this point, and he's funny. I think I would laugh at him, not with him, and I would hope he thinks that's okay. And then I
Hope he doesn't
like
catch on.
all of his like riddles, like in trying to solve his riddles to learn. I would like that. And I
Like
thought he
try to
did a
just
pretty good
solve
job with it.
what he's speaking because he doesn't speak proper
Yeah,
English.
everything is a riddle pretty much that he's saying.
I would
Um,
want Dagobah Yoda though, specifically because he was
oh,
crazier and he was just
older in
wild.
exile. The
He's like, bah,
seagulls, that
bah.
seagulls lip sync, bad lip sync, the seagulls.
Oh, that was hilarious. Backpack for you while you jump or something like that.
Yeah,
I can be a
that's what I was
backpack while
picturing
you run.
too, was Dagobah Yoda specifically. So I guess that would be
Nice.
my my Jedi Masters Jedi. So you have
That's
Kenobi,
cute.
I have Yoda, and we will be very good Jedi. So the number one answer was Anakin Skywalker.
What?
Yeah, and people were like, "Really? Like, look what happened, and look what happened with Ahsoka, and look what happened to him." But they're saying he was the most humanized, and because he was kind of like a gray Jedi, like he was playing with dark and light. He wasn't one or the other until he became Darth
Okay.
Vader. So I guess he's rebellious too, which Ahsoka took on. She became rebellious, I think, because of him too. So maybe Ahsoka would be a good one too. But yeah, for whatever reason, number one was
I
Anakin.
thought about Ahsoka and she's a little too sassy for me. Like I think I'd be annoyed with her as my master,
She's got a
but
lot
I
of
would want to be her
baggage,
friend.
like
Yeah.
too much going on. Like, girl, too much. Like, don't give me your baggage. I
Girl,
need
you
to be
too
my
much.
own Jedi. But number two was Luke Skywalker himself, who did start an academy. And
I
by the
did kind
way,
of want to take back Obi-Wan once you talked
oh,
about how strict he was and go for Luke because Luke seems more fun, especially like Mark Hamill nowadays. Luke, it's just like kind of wild and silly, and I think he'd be fun to have as a teacher.
Luke is a good one. And he was taught by the Grandmaster Yoda. So there you
That's right.
go. Luke was number two, but he will try to kill you in your sleep if he thinks you're going to be up to no good at some point, which is what he did to his
That is very true.
nephew, Ben, poor thing. But speaking of an academy, I heard they're filming the next Star Wars movie, the one that's about Rey Skywalker building out a new Jedi Order, as soon as spring of next year. And that's pretty cool because they always announce these movies and nothing ever happens. So if it starts going into production that soon, that is a good sign
That's so
for
crazy to
Star
think.
Wars fans, right? Back in the movie theaters, we've only been on streaming for quite a while now. Quite a while.
Crazy.
All right, back to the parks. People are asking, how busy will it get in Magic Kingdom Disney World specifically, December 23rd through 25th? So those are Christmas days.
Hmm.
And this poor soul that posted this innocent question,
With no one else to turn
no one
to.
else to turn to, posted this innocent question in the Disney community, Disney fan Reddit just got attacked. Like, what are you thinking? It's gonna be crowded. Did you even get a ticket? It's gonna be sold out. Like, everyone is piling it on. The fact that this person had to do that little thing and add an edit. Never mind. Just wanted to see your opinion on this. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you expect? You never know these days, though, holiday. But
I was going to say the
yeah.
funniest part is now is the time to actually ask that, because we've seen very weird trends.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Walt Disney World did the same as us, but did they block out all of their past members for Christmas?
No idea. No idea.
Yeah,
I
I
still
don't know
get
if they
confused
did.
about the tiers over there. I just renewed mine and I couldn't even do it on the website. I had to call because it was the TVC one. So I'm not sure what the blockout days are for those other ones. But I do know that sometime in January, they're going to stop making dated ticket holders require a park reservation, which is really nice. I'm planning a trip with my family end of January. So we were looking into that, and it was a relief that we didn't have to worry about that. I still have to book because I'm an annual pass. But yeah, so I don't know what that's going to be like for Christmas visitors, but I bet you it'll be mostly ticketed people. I think that's what we're kind of guessing.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
less
that'll be.
annual pass. But my favorite response on this that was upvoted the most was 2 words from Reddit poster The Wine Burglar. So I'm going to repeat the question again. How busy will it get at Magic Kingdom on December 23rd through December 25th? The Wine Burglar says, "Oh, honey." That's all they wrote. That's all they wrote. Murder, she wrote, and that's all she wrote.
That's great.
But yeah, so if you're going to visit the parks, try to plan around it. Expect it to be busy. Just have a good time looking at decorations, eating food, whatever the
Get your
case
AP
is.
brain on,
Yeah,
even though
get your
that's not
AP
even a
brain
thing
on.
anymore. It is for me.
AP brain, magic MK brain.
MK brain.
Okay,
Doesn't
so
say Marine.
it doesn't, and it makes me think of Mortal Kombat. So I am a big Spider-Man fan, as you know, and
You
Marvel.
are.
And Spider-Man has gone through so many different iterations of his character design, his superpowers. And so in the Marvel Studios subreddit of Disney, people are talking about 2 versions of the Spider-Man web strings, or whatever you want to call it. And the question is, which do you prefer? Spider-Man's organic webbing or Spider-Man's mechanical webbing? So now I know I have to stop and explain this to most people. So in the comics, and I would say most of the time we see Spider-Man in most of the movies, in the video game, he has a mechanical one. So it's something that requires refills. He is a super genius engineer, which is how he was able to build it. And he builds the fluid too that comes out that he can then use as these strong strings that, combined with his spider powers like sticking to the wall and super strength and spidey senses, it completes the spider, the spider character by having the webs. Now, there was one version, and I hope I'm getting this right. It was the original trilogy that came out by Sam Raimi, I think. It was one of the older ones. It's not Tom Holland. They had the web come out of Toby, right? Yeah, it came out of his wrists, which is so disgusting when I think about it. And that's what these Redditors are saying. It's like, okay, do you like the organic or the mechanical? What are your thoughts on that?
I also think it's disgusting, but I don't think I thought it was disgusting until that movie. What was it called? Where they were all on it?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. And the way they were playing around with that scene, it made me really grossed out about it. But I had never really thought of it that way before.
Oh, is that when they called
with
out
that one?
They called out Toby having the weird, gross kind.
Yeah,
right?
they're like, ew, where does that come from? Like, what?
And it should come from the butt, because if it's a spider, it's so gross. All of it's gross.
It is gross. But I'm gonna stick with organic because I think all of them were bit by a spider, right? So like they're supposed to have these spider-like abilities now, and that would be one of them. So why wouldn't he create a web if he's now this like hybrid of a spider, instead of having to build something that makes a web? And it's also more fun to think like you're a superhero and you have this mutant power or whatever versus just creating it with a machine. So I'm going to stick with organic.
Organic.
How about you?
I'm on the fence because I believe what you say. I think it makes natural sense for a superhero, especially a part of the Marvel superheroes, to be like some kind of weird hybrid after an event happened, like being bit by the radioactive spider. Totally makes
Uh-huh.
sense. A lot of the reason why the fans are defending the classic version, where it's mechanical, it's on his wrist, he makes the fluid, it runs out. There are several reasons why, and I agree with these also. One is Peter Parker is meant to be like really smart engineer. Like he went to that tech school in New York City and is supposed to be almost as smart as Tony Stark. Like he was his apprentice for a while, Iron Man's,
Right.
and cool enough and smart enough to make this gadget for
Okay.
himself after he
Fair.
got the spider powers. So
He
he's like,
made
oh,
his
let me
suit
complete it.
too, right? So fair.
Yep, there you go. And then the other part is they needed something to make sure he wasn't too overpowered. And the comic writers needed ways for him to be in peril. We used that word earlier. In peril. So if you're fighting an enemy or you're falling down a building and you suddenly run out of, you have no more web shooters, it adds drama. So I guess those are part of the reasons it's
Drama.
there. Yeah. But it
Okay.
makes sense for it to be organic. It's just once I went down the deep dark hole of how
The dark
gross it
web.
is, the dark web,
No pun intended.
it just kept grossing me out. Someone here on Reddit says, I can't even imagine holding yourself, like they're saying how he uses it to swing, knowing that it's coming from inside your arm. Like that is pretty gross.
That is really gross,
It's like a
actually.
long vein or something.
Ugh,
So yeah,
don't like that.
this is what I do late at night on Reddit, as I just read these things and I go down these dark rabbit holes and then I save them up to talk to you on the podcast. Okay, so here's a really cool one that I did not expect to find on Reddit and was very happy to. Does Tilly have a backstory? That's the question asked. First of all, who is Tilly? Do you know?
That's what I was like. Tilly the ticket taker? Who are you talking about?
Tilly the ticket taker. Somebody wants to know, do they
No,
have a
are you
backstory?
serious?
And it turns out they sure do. And that's what somebody said, was like, of course, it's Disney. Somebody did. So
Oh my God, I don't think I know this. I'm very excited.
yes. Okay, so I am going to give you the backstory, but it is not going to just be any backstory. It is going to be the history of Tilly the ticket taker,
Oh my
according
gosh.
to Myke TV. So
Oh, I'm so mad at you.
we have
Okay.
another game. So Tilly has a real history from Disney, but in one of our classic podcast Disney Holic Show games, I am going to provide us with a list of fun facts about the history of Tilly, the ticket taker, and you have to guess which ones are not true. Which ones are
Okay,
not
okay.
true?
Okay,
So
wait. So I'm gonna get the real history of Tilly Ticket Taker, and then also some Myke TV ones. Okay, this is
yes,
cool. I like
yeah,
this.
this is cool. Okay, so let's start with the fact that Tilly is the woman that you see in Main Street Cinema in the ticket taker booth on Main Street, USA. I believe it's only Disneyland that has that. Now that I think about it, I really have no idea, but I'm assuming it is. Not sure.
They do not have her in Disney World.
Ah, there you go.
I
So
don't know about other places, though.
you can see her at Main Street Cinema, Main Street Disneyland for sure. She has a hidden talent, did you know, by the way, for playing the piano, often entertaining guests with classic film scores after hours. Tilly is also known for her extensive collection of vintage film posters, which she began collecting during her time at Main Street Cinema. Tilly is named Tilly
First of all,
because she
okay,
works.
these are all so cute. I'm excited, and now I don't want to know which one's fake. Okay, carry on.
Tilly was named Tilly because she literally works at the till, which is the cash register. So that's
Right.
why she's named Tilly. She is from Marceline, Missouri.
Yes, I know that one is a fact.
She wears a name tag that says she's from Marceline, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
She's also frequently wearing a green outfit when she's in the booth. In
Okay.
her early years, Tilly wore that same green outfit when she was part of a traveling theater group that performed across the Midwest. So this was before she worked at Main Street Cinema. And
What? I
then
like all of these.
Tilly's favorite film is from the 1940s. It inspired her love for cinema, and that film is Walt Disney's Dumbo. I think it's 1941. And then
Okay.
legend has it that Tilly once saved Main Street Cinema from closing and bankruptcy by hosting a successful fundraiser featuring movie stars of the era. So there you go. That's Tilly's history. That's her backstory. She's more than just a
Shoot.
mannequin. More than just a mannequin. We love her.
Okay. I do love her. I think the entire thing is according to Myke TV.
Okay, pretty close. So let's go back to the Reddit. People were like, yeah, there is a story, and they were giving links, and all it was linking to were a couple of legit Disney, like Disney blog, or also fan sites like Disney Wiki, and then you look up Tilly.
Okay.
The only real facts are she worked at the till, was named after the till, is from Marceline, Missouri, and
Okay.
always has worn the standard green outfit.
Okay.
Everything
She
else,
has lots of outfits.
I embellished, and I think that should be her
I
real story,
love
right?
them
Yeah.
all. That collection of the movie posters. What?
Yeah.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
she's a fan. She watched Dumbo in 1941, fell in love, wanted to go
I
work at Main
love
Street
that. What
Cinema.
was the first one she played? She's like a silent movie theater piano player.
Plays the
Stop.
piano, entertaining guests with classic film scores after hours at the theater.
Yeah, that was good. I love that.
So,
I want Tilly to be the Myke TV version.
Myke TV. Okay, Tilly needs her own Disney Plus series. I could
She
see that,
does.
right? I
Come
could see
on.
it. All right. What else are people saying? What are also the Disney fans saying? So we talked about Tilly, we did a fun game, but as this is a Myke TV produced episode, we got to talk about TV a little bit. So we know at the end of the year, you get a lot of those like wrap ups, like Spotify, iTunes. They'll
Oh,
tell you like
yes.
the top things. And so there's a really cool Reddit thread where people are talking about the top TV series of 23. Is that how you
Okay.
say it, plural? TV series of 2023. Of
Yeah,
the
I
top
think that's
10
right.
TV series, best of, based on ratings, I guess, from IMDb, of the top 10, how many do you think are from Disney Plus or Disney brand?
Ooh, for 2023.
As we wrap up this year, how many showed up on the top 10 list?
I'm gonna guess like 2. There wasn't that many this year, were there?
Ah, you got it right. There was just two
Sweet.
that made it to the top 10. What were those two?
For some, I only guessed 2 because I can only think of Ahsoka. So I'm gonna guess Ahsoka, and then the other one I don't know.
It's like right adjacent to it.
Was it
That's probably why.
Obi-Wan? What was it even called? What was his series
That was the
called?
year before, I think, or even the year
Oh
before that.
shoot! See, I don't even know what came out this year.
It was Mando, the Mandalorian, the newest season.
Oh,
You
that
didn't
was a
love that
terrible
one. That's the one
season.
with like Lizzo and Jack Black. So yeah, Star Wars came out on top for Disney streaming.
Oh wow!
And none of the Marvel shows showed up here or anything else. So interesting. Number one, I think you'd be happy about for fans of The Last of Us. That is the number one series of 2023.
Yes, very good.
Number 2 was Ahsoka, which you guessed. Number 3 is Succession on HBO. I keep trying to watch it. I can't get into it, but I hear it's good. The acting's great.
I haven't tried it
Black
yet.
Mirror, the current season or the latest season, is number 4 of the top series. Number 5 is The Mandalorian. So that's the other Disney series. Number 6,
Top 5.
One Piece on Netflix, the pirate show, which is a live action adaptation of animation. I have not seen it. I heard good things. I think the fans of the comic or the graphic or the anime love it. So that's good.
Yeah. I haven't even seen the anime, so I want to start off there if anything, but
And then there's a show that I also haven't seen called The Fall of the House of Usher, which is on Netflix. And it's part of that cast and crew that do the Legend of Hill House or whatever it was called, and
Right.
in those movies, the kid from E.T. grown up in that cast. Number 8, Ted Lasso from Apple TV Plus. Another hugely popular show. I only watched one season and I couldn't continue. I couldn't get into it. So there's that. The
Never tried it.
Bear. The Bear is
Oh,
really good.
I want to try The Bear.
It is very, very good. And you know what? I'm going to give Disney credit for this one because I forgot that this is an FX show, which Disney owns, like American Horror Story and all that. So there, they got 3. They got 1 on cable and then 2 on streaming. So The Bear.
Perfect.
Check that out. If anyone loves the guy who played Lips from Shameless, the US version on Showtime, he's the main character on The Bear. He plays a high-end chef that goes back home to help his family with their sandwich shop. And so that's like, I think, enough to get you interested. So if you like the sort of what happens when someone goes off, becomes famous and snobby, comes back to their old town, has to do things old school, everybody's fighting. It's a very high pressure show, drama, a little bit of comedy. The Bear, very good. And then last on the last of the top 10 TV series of 2023 is Gen V. So that's Generation V, which is one of the spin-off shows of The Boys on Prime, which is a parody, or is not a parody, but a satire of superhero universe world.
Is it also on Prime, Gen V?
It is also on Prime. I just finished season 1, and it's so good. It was so unexpectedly good. I was just going to write it off because I get hesitant with spinoffs when it feels like they're trying like to milk it or something. But this show is so good. So if you liked The Boys and you like just subverting the superhero MCU world and making it a little naughtier and more sexual but political and adult, you will really like The Boys, but you will love Gen V. And basically when I got to the end of Gen V, I realized that they basically made the first live action X-Men series without calling it that. And there are times where it was toward the end where it was so blatant that I was like, this is so freaking cool that they figured out how to do this, because why wait for Fox or Disney to do it? Like, these people know what they're doing, and they're already playing around with sort of parodies of characters. So they do a lot of X-Men related storylines, and Gen V is really about these young adults that are in a university for superheroes. And then that's kind of also enough to get you excited. So if you're into those things, I think you would really love the show to see how superpowers come into play when you're just trying to get through like life as a young adult. Again, also
sounds
very
fun.
X-Men. So yeah, very cool. And that's it for Reddit. I had a long list here and we got through it.
It was fun.
Scariest one that won the song right was Pink Elephants. We talked about defunct animatronics like the poor Disco Yeti. We talked about how crowded it probably is going to be on Christmas at the Disney parks, plus a bunch of other things like the roller coaster up and down game, which was a lot of fun as well.
Super fun. Yes, and thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed episode 167 of the Disneyholics Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disneyholics.
And if you'd like to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.